Across the United States, a significant infrastructure challenge is developing: America's $4 trillion infrastructure situation. From coast to coast, the systems that support daily life are showing clear signs of wear. Highways that once represented progress now display the effects of age, and the results are becoming increasingly apparent. Roads, bridges, power grids, and water pipes, which have long supported economic growth, are now experiencing the consequences of years without sufficient maintenance. Each day, millions of Americans travel over bridges that require repairs, commute on roads with potholes, and depend on water systems that are no longer up to modern standards. The infrastructure that once enabled the American dream now requires substantial attention. While the United States continues to discuss priorities and budgets, China is moving forward with large-scale infrastructure projects. As these debates continue, other nations are making significant investments in their future. The difference in approach is notable. Where there is hesitation here, there is decisive action elsewhere. The American Society of Civil Engineers currently rates U.S. infrastructure at a C-. Approximately 1 in 3 bridges needs repair, and a water main breaks every 2 minutes. These figures represent ongoing issues that impact families, businesses, and communities. The financial and social costs of delayed action continue to accumulate. The electrical grid, much of which is aging, is increasingly susceptible to blackouts and cyber attacks. Power interruptions affect both daily life and business operations, while older technology presents new vulnerabilities in a digital era. The grid that once supported American innovation now faces new challenges. These issues extend beyond inconvenience, influencing the economy, national security, and the country's global position. When factories experience outages and supply chains are disrupted, jobs and opportunities can be affected. Reliable infrastructure is also essential for military and emergency services. As other countries invest in modern infrastructure, the United States faces the possibility of lagging behind. Cities around the world are being built with efficient transit, resilient power systems, and advanced technology. In contrast, progress in the U.S. is often slowed by both physical and political gridlock. Global competition is ongoing, and countries that invest in infrastructure today are positioning themselves for future leadership. Economic competitors are allocating significant resources to attract business, talent, and innovation. The challenge is not limited to surface repairs. It involves updating the nation's core systems for a new era. Comprehensive projects can create jobs, encourage innovation, and contribute to national renewal. This period presents an opportunity to consider what is possible. The global shift toward high-speed trains, smart grids, and sustainable cities is underway. While these advancements become standard in other countries, the U.S. is working to maintain and improve its existing infrastructure. The coming decades will be shaped by those who invest in and build infrastructure. Decisions made today will influence whether the United States maintains its leadership role or experiences relative decline. The outcomes will affect future generations. The question remains whether America will continue to lead or become less prominent on the world stage. The international community is observing these developments, and the choices made now will be remembered. This is a moment for considered action. Addressing infrastructure needs is not only about repairs, but also about building a future that reflects American values and aspirations. The opportunity to make meaningful progress is present. America's infrastructure faces 4 significant areas of concern. First, transportation. Roads and bridges, once considered world-class, now contribute to economic inefficiencies and increased costs. Second, energy. The current grid, designed for a different era, struggles to meet modern requirements and withstand severe weather, which can result in service interruptions and slow progress toward cleaner energy. Third, digital infrastructure. Many Americans still lack access to high-speed internet, contributing to a digital divide that limits educational and economic opportunities. Fourth, water systems. Aging pipes and treatment facilities can lead to resource loss and potential public health concerns. These challenges are not only technical, they also have economic and social implications. Delays, outages, and infrastructure failures affect daily life and productivity. The consequences of postponing solutions accumulate over time. Addressing these issues is about ensuring long-term stability and resilience. The strength of America's foundation is closely tied to the condition of its infrastructure. Infrastructure decay is a reality that affects Americans in many ways. For some, it means spending more time in traffic. Others encounter unexpected car repairs due to deteriorating roads. Businesses may experience delays in shipments, which can affect their bottom line. Power outages can interrupt work and sometimes lead to jobs relocating elsewhere. In some homes, lead pipes present ongoing health concerns for children. Limited internet access can make it harder for students to keep up in school. Emergency response times may be affected by poor road conditions. Higher operating costs can make American products less competitive. Over time, these challenges can gradually impact daily life and financial well-being. The effects extend beyond finances, influencing opportunity, health, and overall outlook. America's infrastructure situation becomes particularly clear when compared to the steady progress of Asia's infrastructure leaders. Across the Pacific, countries such as China, South Korea, and Singapore have gradually transformed their cities and economies through sustained investments and forward-looking projects, while the U.S. has experienced a slower pace of development. For instance, China has developed more than 25,000 miles of high-speed rail in just over a decade. This achievement has significantly improved travel for millions, connecting major cities at speeds that are not currently available in the United States, and making cross-country journeys more efficient and accessible. Traveling from Beijing to Shanghai, which are separated by over 800 miles, now takes approximately 4.5 hours by train. In comparison, a trip from New York to Chicago, a similar distance by Amtrak, can take nearly 20 hours, often with older trains and occasional delays. South Korea is recognized for its leadership in internet speed and connectivity. The country's advanced broadband infrastructure supports a robust technology sector, enables smart city initiatives, and provides reliable online access even for subway commuters. Singapore's ports and airports are considered among the best in the world, helping the city-state become a central hub for global trade. The efficiency of its terminals attracts international business and investment. These examples illustrate that well-developed infrastructure can attract business activity. Modern transportation and digital networks often serve as foundations for innovation, employment, and economic growth. In contrast, many aspects of America's infrastructure have seen limited updates. The U.S. has not constructed a major airport in over 25 years, and several ports and railways are operating with older facilities that face challenges meeting current demands. The digital infrastructure in the U.S. also shows disparities. Millions of Americans remain without access to high-speed internet, not due to technological limitations, but rather a combination of investment priorities and policy decisions. These conditions have practical effects. U.S. companies may encounter higher transportation and communication costs, which can influence growth and participation in the global market. In Asia, the movement of goods, data, and people is often more efficient and cost-effective, providing businesses with advantages in productivity and competitiveness. The difference in infrastructure development between America and Asia continues to grow, which may have implications for the U.S.'s economic position and influence internationally. While Asian countries continue to invest in new buildings, transportation systems, and digital networks, the U.S. faces the challenge of maintaining and updating existing structures. The evidence suggests that consistent investment in infrastructure is a key factor for national progress. The ongoing question is whether America will choose to prioritize these investments in the years ahead. America's infrastructure situation can be understood as a cycle of ongoing neglect. When maintenance is deferred, minor issues gradually develop into larger, more expensive problems. Over time, delays in addressing these issues increase costs, turning what might have been a simple repair into a significant financial undertaking. Currently, the investment gap in U.S. infrastructure is estimated to exceed $2.5 trillion over the next decade. As expenses grow, political momentum often diminishes, allowing the cycle to continue. In comparison, countries such as China and Singapore maintain steady investment, which supports ongoing development and improvement. Well-maintained infrastructure tends to attract business, generate employment, and provide resources for further enhancements. In the United States, a more reactive approach often results in temporary solutions rather than long-term progress. Addressing this pattern will require thoughtful, sustained investment strategies. Otherwise, the risk is a gradual and lasting decline. The effects of deteriorating infrastructure can be observed in daily life, impacting both individuals and communities. Low-income areas are often more exposed to these challenges, living near aging highways, relying on public water sources, and facing limited access to transit and internet. Inadequate transit systems can result in missed employment opportunities and reduced mobility. The situation in Flint, Michigan illustrates how infrastructure neglect can affect public health and long-term prospects. Pollution from older transportation networks and ports is associated with increased health risks in nearby communities. The decline of public spaces can gradually diminish community engagement and pride. Conversely, well-maintained infrastructure supports social connection and creates new opportunities. Efforts to rebuild infrastructure contribute not only to economic growth, but also to a sense of hope and fairness. Ultimately, investing in infrastructure is a way to invest in the well-being of society as a whole. America's infrastructure challenges are primarily shaped by political factors rather than technological limitations. The structure of short-term political cycles often leads to a preference for immediate results over sustained, long-term investment. Major infrastructure projects require years to complete, frequently extending beyond the tenure of elected officials. As a result, smaller, more visible projects are often prioritized. Political disagreements can turn infrastructure funding into a point of negotiation, which can delay or halt progress. Infrastructure is frequently viewed as an expense rather than a long-term investment, despite its potential to support employment and economic growth. Historically, each dollar invested in infrastructure has generated significant returns for the broader economy. The United States once undertook large-scale projects such as the Hoover Dam and the interstate highway system. Today, maintenance often takes precedence over new development. While other nations plan for the future, American infrastructure planning can appear rooted in past approaches. This situation does not reflect the full potential of the nation's capabilities. A renewed focus on ambition and long-term vision could help address these challenges. America doesn't need to invent a new model, just learn from what works. First, develop a national long-term infrastructure strategy, insulated from political swings. Second, use technology and data, like Singapore's digital city model, to make smarter, more efficient investments. America's tech sector can lead in smart infrastructure, from AI-managed grids to sensor-equipped bridges. Third, embrace public-private partnerships, as Europe and Canada do, to stretch dollars and speed up projects. A national infrastructure bank could unlock new financing and break federal gridlock. Finally, America must think big again. What's our next moonshot? High-speed rail, a national smart grid, universal broadband. These are the projects that will define our future. By aiming high, we can inspire a new era of American leadership. America is at a crossroads, facing a choice between decline and renewal. The decisions made today will influence the nation for generations, shaping the environment our children will experience. The question is whether we will allow our infrastructure to deteriorate, or approach the challenge with a focus on building a more resilient future. The $4 trillion infrastructure issue presents a significant challenge, but it is one that can be addressed through unity and ambition. Across the country, aging highways and water systems present risks to safety and prosperity. With determination and collective effort, these obstacles can become opportunities for growth and renewal. A long-term, well-funded national plan from Congress is essential, one that is ambitious, strategic, and predictable. Sustained investment and bipartisan cooperation are necessary to establish a foundation for lasting progress and economic stability. Infrastructure planning should consider not only current needs, but also the challenges of climate change, digitalization, and global competition. The goal is to create systems that are smart, sustainable, and adaptable to a rapidly evolving world. Technological and financial innovation are important. Streamlining regulations, encouraging partnerships, and implementing smart solutions can help ensure resources are used efficiently. The private sector has a significant role to play. Businesses, investors, and entrepreneurs can contribute expertise, resources, and innovation to the process of rebuilding the nation's infrastructure. A shift in perspective is required, viewing infrastructure as a shared asset rather than merely a cost. It forms the basis of daily life, connecting communities, supporting employment, and enabling progress. Bridges, pipes, and power lines are essential connections within society. They provide clean water, reliable power, and safe transportation. Rebuilding these systems is a reaffirmation of a shared commitment to the future. It reflects a collective decision to pursue improvement rather than accept decline. The scale of the task is considerable, but the consequences of inaction are more significant. Delays increase risks and costs with implications for the economy and quality of life. A composed, collaborative approach is needed. Rebuilding America is a shared responsibility, and the opportunity to act is present now.